Evening, everybody. I'd like to call to order and welcome everyone to this meeting of the Muscle Shoals City Board of Education meeting this evening. Board, the first thing we need to do is look at our agenda and approve it. Do I have a motion to approve our agenda this evening?
Madam President, I make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Allman. There is a motion and a second. Is there any discussion about tonight's agenda? Hearing none, I will call for vote. All those in favor of approving the agenda as presented, please say aye.
Aye.
And those opposed, nay. Hearing none, there's all ayes, so the agenda is approved. Dr. Holden.
All right, Dr. Rudolph, I have no correspondence to present tonight, so we'll move right along to our business action items. For the consent agenda resolution, the board has been furnished with background material on each item, or as discussed the item at a previous meeting. Consent agenda items will be acted upon with one vote without discussion. If a board member wants to discuss any item, it will be pulled from the consent agenda and voted on separately. For tonight's consent agenda, we have the minutes from the November 17th regular meeting, the bills and accounts for November, the November financial report, and those bank statements have been reconciled, the 23-24 Muscle Shoals High School course description guide, the 23-24 school calendar, and the 23-24 holiday schedule. Does any board member wish to pull any of those items from the consent agenda? Hearing none, Madam President, I recommend the consent agenda as presented.
Thank you, Dr. Holden. Board, the superintendent has asked us to approve the consent agenda as presented. Is there a motion to do so?
I move.
Thank you, Ms. Allman. Second.
I second.
Thank you, Mr. Wood. There's a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Is there any discussion about these items that Dr. Holden just went over with us? Hearing none, I will call for vote. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda items as presented, please say aye.
Aye.
Are there any nay? Please. Okay, I'm hearing no nays, so the consent agenda items are approved, Dr. Holden.
All right.
At this time, we are going to move into consideration of board policy revision, policy 6.16, students charged with serious crime. Dr. Holden, are you prepared for the board to consider this tonight?
I am. On the table, we have the revision to policy 6.1 admissions and attendance, and this adds section 6, students charged with a serious crime, that I would like for the board to remove from the table and consider. The proposed policy was tabled last month. It has been disseminated to our stakeholders, and all the feedback that I've received has been in support of this proposal.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Holden. Is there a motion to remove policy proposal board 6.16, students charged with a serious crime, from the table for consideration?
I move that we remove that from the table for consideration.
All right, thank you, Mr. Wood. Is there a second?
I second and call for a vote.
All right, thank you, Mr. King. All in favor of removing policy proposal 6.1.6 from the table for consideration, please say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Okay, there are none opposed, so the motion carries. So we're now going to consider approving this policy 6.16 related to students charged with a serious crime. All in favor of approving these policies, please say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Okay, hearing none, the motion carries.
Thank you, Dr. Rudolph. And now item C, I recommend the personnel report as presented.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Holden. The board is now to consider the personnel report. The superintendent has asked us to approve it, and you've seen it. Is there a motion to approve this personnel report?
I move. Approve the personnel report.
Thank you, Ms. Almond. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. So we have a motion and a second to approve the personnel report. Is there any discussion about the personnel report? Hearing none, I will call for vote at this time. All those in favor of approving the personnel report as presented, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please say nay. Okay, hearing none, the ayes have it, so the personnel report is approved, Dr. Holden.
All right, for the benefit of the audience, the personnel report consists of the following. Under resignation, Marshall Devers, teacher coach, Hal Grace Preschool and Muscle Shoals High School. That's effective December the 31st. Lance Ullman, maintenance HVAC specialist, effective November the 29th. Under reassignment transfer, Mandy Holloway from C&P assistant at Webster, and that's just a change of assignment days from 182 to 184. That's effective January the 4th. Laura Opstein from CNP interim manager at Howell Graves to manager at Howell Graves. That also includes a change of assignment days. That's effective January the 4th. Jennifer McGaffey from CNP assistant at the McBride and the middle school to CNP assistant assigned to Webster. That also involves a change of assignment days effective January the 4th. Lorianne Baggett from CNP assistant assigned to McBride and the middle school to CNP assistant assigned to Howell Graves. That also includes a change of assignment days effective January the 4th. Under employment, Hannah Green, CNP assistant assigned to McBride and the middle school effective January the 4th. Richard Hale, maintenance HVAC specialist, that's effective January the 3rd. Emma James, PE teacher, Muscle Shoals Middle School, effective January the 3rd. Isabella Nicole Thompson, elementary teacher at McBride, effective January the 3rd. Ashley Waldrop, CNP assistant, assigned to McBride in the middle school, effective January the 4th. Under other part-time special appointments and supplemental assignments, Daniel C. for a supplement for just additional band directing duties performed during Mrs. Hood's leave of absence. Melanie Hester, additional supplement for work with JV Cheer. Carly Malone, resignation of middle school head softball coach duties effective immediately. Emma James, the assignment of middle school head softball coach duties for the 23 season. Livingston Long, supplement for assistance with the 22 middle school football season to be paid from the football account. A stipend for 2 employees who worked an ACT test that was open to Muscle Shoals students only, and then 3 individuals to assist with tennis coaching during the 23 tennis season and a supplement for them. This is for information only, not for board action. 3 employees who have requested some type of medical leave. And then under Kelly Services staffing update, we have Tina Berryhill filling a paraprofessional position at Howell Graves and Miranda Hammond covering the library and media leave at McBride.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Holden.
All
Do
right.
you have a person,
I do.
a report for us this evening?
Superintendent's report. Yeah, just a
Yes.
few things I'd like to brag on about the district. A lot of great things going on. I like to take the opportunity when I can to do that. I do want to congratulate several of our teachers who either renewed or have become a national board certified teacher for the first time. And if I leave anybody off, it's just because I don't have their name and they didn't respond to my request. But I think we have 4, 3 new ones: Gina Carr at the pre-K, Julie Acord at Highland Park, and Andrea Young at McBride. Those were all new national board certified teachers. And then Kristen Grider at Highland Park renewed her national board certification. So we're excited for those teachers. I know they were when they got the email this weekend that they had passed. Ms. Nichols and I had fun today going around to Highland Park and the middle school, getting the chance to announce our elementary and secondary teachers of the year. That's Kayla Passarell at Highland Park and Anna Grinnell at the middle school. I felt like I was delivering the Publishers Clearinghouse. Unfortunately, I didn't have that much money to give away, but balloons and a cookie cake and some flowers. But that was a lot of fun. Anytime you get to celebrate your folks, it's always good. Speaking of that, we congratulate Catherine Osteen. She must be the best grant writer around because she has once again received a gifted grant, and this one in the amount of $20,000. And so you guys toured the classroom upgrades that she did last year. I think it was it 30,000, Dr. Templeton? So, but I talked to her in the parking lot this morning as I was dropping my kid off, and I think this one's going to be for a 3D printer, and some other classroom resources that those gifted students are going to be able to utilize. So I can't wait to see what she does with all of those resources. Congratulations to some students. Sarah Whiteside was selected as the McBride Spelling Bee winner. We also congratulate our football team on an impressive season. We haven't had a meeting since their season came to an end, but they finished 11-2 overall and had a trip to the semifinals. And so they just had a great season, and we congratulate Coach Basin and all the football players. We did have 2 players, Bentley Basin and Jaheim Ingram, who played in the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game. Coach Basin also coached in that game. And then we had Isaac Rue, an offensive lineman, was selected to play in the High School Athletic Association's North-South All-Star game. So we were proud to have representation in both of those games. We had 5 students who recently received show choir and theater awards. Elijah Elmore and Leah Strickland were in All-State. Sarah Beth Davis, Lily Goodwin, Leah Strickland, and Mary Graham were in Trumbauer and represented Muscle Shoals there. We had 11 band students selected for the University of Alabama Honor Band, and you have those names there. Also, Muscle Shoals High School has announced its nominees for Bryant Jordan Awards, and that's Bryant Baisden and Trey Stoddard, and they'll be representing us in the next round of selection to go on to the region competition, and hopefully we'll have one or both of them who will end up at the state banquet a little bit later this year. We congratulate Vasha Patel, who is the high school's DAR Good Citizen. And also Brady Bolding, if you saw that in the newspaper, scored a perfect 36 on the ACT. So we congratulate him for that. Just can't say enough about our staff this time of year. You know, as we've gone around the last few days to the different schools, there was plenty of places for us to eat, that's for sure, as the principals loved on their staffs a little bit right here at the end. But, you know, we've had people that have just, you know, I mentioned this in the work session, it's just been an outpouring of support for students that maybe are a little insecure when it comes to food, or maybe they're not going to have quite the Christmas that others will have. And we've had counselors here in this building several days this week that have been giving food to families, and gifts have been brought and distributed to families. And it does my heart good to see the work that's done. And I appreciate everybody that has invested in that, given time in that. But we will close tomorrow, 1 o'clock, early dismissal, after those final exams are given at the high school and middle school, I guess. And we'll reopen in 2023, January the 4th. So it's not that far away. But I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and hope you have a Happy New Year.
Thank you, Dr. Holden. Merry Christmas to you as well. Does any board member have any response they would like to make to the superintendent's report or anything else this evening? Okay, hearing none, we have completed the agenda set before us this evening. So I now proclaim this meeting is adjourned.